Good morning, Karen from Quantum Heart Awakening. Today we're going to do a twin flame reading. So as always, masculines on the left, feminines on the right, and union energies down the center. Okay, let's start with masculines. What are they confronting on this path? What are the blocks showing up? What are the solutions to those blocks? What do they need to know for the highest and best good of self and the planet? What do they need to know? Okay, we have psychic gifts and blessings and manifestation. I mean, exciting masculines. It's all coming together. I just did a masculine reading, I think, yesterday, and this was not the case. They had to individuate from families in order to step towards their deepest alignment, and it looks like you are masculines. Congratulations, very proud of you. And for feminine spirit and for feminines, what are the feminines confronting? What are the blocks on their path and solutions to those blocks? Courage and travel in reverse. Okay. Let's see. Anything else for feminines? I feel like there's more. I just get a vibe. Just getting the vibes. God, and all these feminine cards are flying off the table. This is a lot of cards, but let's just take them. Truth. Okay. There's something. Anytime I get all reversals and one upright, it's like the upright card is the impetus for all this other growth, or vice versa. Wait, is that on camera? Yes, it is. So then we also have truth. I'm putting it on the side so I can see it. You don't need to see it. I mean, there it is. But moving on. Okay, let me just get union energies and then we'll drop in. Anything for union? For union, what do we need to know for the collective? Again, on the floor. There's a lot of combustive, bouncy, crazy energy. Inspiration. This feels familiar. Anything else? Anything else for union energy spirit? Anything else for union energies? Thank you. Boundaries and dreams. I don't know about you, but my dreams have been insane the last 3 nights. All right, let's rock out. Let's just check. Okay, what's in the unconscious is compassion. I'm going to put it, where do I put it? No one can see anything. Let me see. There we go. So that's a little better, right? All right, I'm just going to put this here so I remember it. Okay, let's drop in masculines. Blessings, manifestation, and psychic abilities. Masculines, don't leave yourself out in the cold. Don't leave any blessings on the table. There's this great line that says, the universe is not on a budget. Ask for more. There's something here, masculines, about you really creating safe space to actually ask yourself, what do you actually desire? Not what you think you should desire at this point in your life, not what you think you should have accomplished at this age, place, or time, not what your parents want you to accomplish, but what would bless your life? What would bless your life and crack your heart open in such profound gratitude? That's where you're meant to land your manifestations. I'm sorry, I've been saying this the last couple of readings because I'm on a little mini beach vacay, but there's a lot of background noise, so forgive me, but I'm just going to leave it and talk through it. If it's really bad, I'll pause. All right, we just had a full bulldozer tractor go by, so I had to pause. All right, masculines, again, calling you to take accountability for what is your actual desire. What is your actual truth? Have you been leaving any of your desires on the table? I need to get more about your psychic abilities. This was a thread about 3 weeks ago. This card came up for all masculines. It was wild. So the message here, masculines, is as you come into more authenticity, as you become more honest and truthful to yourself about your desires, your manifestations and the way you come into relationship with the quantum field is going to shift, meaning you're going to be more in alignment with the flow of everything around you, and your psychic abilities, whatever those might be, Psychic abilities could be as specific as a new gift coming online, like clairsentient, claircognizant, clairaudient, any of those types of literal gifts. But it could also be the gift of honoring your intuition, the gift of hearing your desires clearly. This is going to look different for everybody. Okay, masculines. And then for feminines, this is very interesting. Okay, we have courage, travel, confidence, and spirit guides. This is a two-way message, feminines. This is like, God, this hasn't happened in years, but sometimes I see a yin and yang imagery with my cards where one affects the other, which affects the other, which affects the other, and it's almost this spinning effect. I'm seeing that here, meaning, feminines, when you seek your truth, that journey of seeking your own truth is going to give you more courage to travel with confidence with your spiritual experiences. Another way to say this is that you have an entire quantum field full of angels, spirit guides, ancestors, your soul crew, everybody open, ready, waiting, and willing to support you, traveling into self, traveling out in the world, expressing your gifts, stepping into your power, stepping into leadership, creating the thing you've always wanted to create, writing the book, launching the podcast, launching the YouTube channel, whatever this is for you will lead to even deeper excavation of your truth. So one feeds the other, which feeds the other, which feeds the other. Long story short, truth begets more truth, meaning whatever way you start, whether you start just honoring, okay, what is my truth in this moment, having confidence to travel deeper into that, the help will show up along the way, which will aid in your confidence, which will boost your self-esteem, which will give you more foundational stability to then excavate even more truth and more truth and more truth. Do you see how this is starting to like feed the system? When you start feeding the beast of truth, you crave more truth. It's a really powerful thing. And then when you'll eventually, feminines, you'll get to a point where you will crave authenticity, and anything that isn't authentic will either, one, vibrate out of your life naturally, or two, you will create these radical boundaries around these people, places, and things that don't serve you, that annoy you, that don't vibrate, that don't resonate, that sorry, here comes the tractor again. It'll be so easy to identify what is not serving you in this moment, what's not serving your truth. You might be in a relationship that you've just kind of been in unconsciously passing time because you want to be in a relationship. And then all of a sudden one day you look at this person and you're like, oh my God, we have nothing in common with who I am at the core of my soul. But in order to know that and identify that, you have to first excavate your truth. You have to excavate the core of your soul. Okay, beautiful feminines. And now, let's look at union energies. So first out the gate for feminines and masculines, it's really important that you do not shove empathy, compassion, and love into the shadows. Now, this is for not just yourself, but for other as well. We have compassion showing up in the shadows, and it's really, okay, let me not say that. Hold on. Yes, we have compassion that may be showing up in the shadows, but it's also in the unconscious position, which means either it's lying dormant in your system or there's something that's just out of your periphery that's coming in eventually right around the corner. So a lot of this love and empathy and compassion may be just around the corner. I think that's important distinction, that not everything is a shadow. Not everything is, shoved into the unconscious at your own hand. Sometimes things are kept out of our psyche until we're ready to confront them, right? There's some, it's the evolutionary process of the soul that tells us if we're ready for the next step of the journey, which isn't up to us. We're either ready or we're not. We're either ready for the new, more exalted lesson, or we're in the karmic cycle. We didn't clean it up the first time around, so we're going to do it again. We get another opportunity. It's not a punishment, this karma. It's another beautiful, sacred opportunity to clean up what's showing up on your side of the street. Okay? Just reminding everyone, this is for union energies. This is for all parties involved. Okay, let's dive into the message here. We have inspiration in reverse, boundaries, and dreams. Okay, pay attention to your dreams. You might get inspiration from your dreams. My dreams have been a shit show the last 3 nights. Like, the first 2 nights were like, meh, whatever. I do a lot of dream work, so I worked with them. It made sense. I excavated something unconscious from my psyche. I did that work. Beautiful, whatever. Last night's dream, I had a massive nightmare, and it was so aggressive. I was hysterically crying in the dream, and I woke up hysterically crying, and I had to, this is so crazy. I had to put my hands on my face to touch my cheeks because I didn't know if I was crying in real life in waking consciousness. And I was hysterically crying. And it was, I'm going to work with that dream later on, but just pay attention to your dreams. And also make sure, hold on, let me get the full message before I open my mouth. Okay, I have 2 separate messages. The boundaries between waking life and sleeping life may be blurred a little bit. This might sound weird and sketchy or scary for some of you. To me, it's a comfort. It means that we are dematerializing. We are in this chapter of spiritualizing matter, meaning we are understanding the correct, appropriate order of operations, which is everything that happens in 3D started in 5D. Everything that is in the realm of matter once was an energetic intention or an idea or some component of spirit. And so it makes sense to me that we are dematerializing our perspectives, the way we show up in the world. We're understanding like that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Now, just like a heads up, I don't like to ever give warnings. I don't like to instill fear in people. This is just like a self-care heads up. In this moment in our journey on this hierogamy, on this path of hierogamy, on this path of sacred union, pay attention to your body, really take care of your body. Make sure you wake up and you do something every day to remind yourself you have a body. Move it, go for a walk, do some yoga, go work out, go throw a ball with your kids, go, run after a rainbow, whatever it is. Because as we dematerialize, it can be really easy to get ungrounded. So stay in your body and set that intention to just witness the energetic engagements around you, but stay rooted in your core physical vessel. Okay. All right. That's the main message. Let's see what else we can get. I'm not going to lie. As I'm giving you this message, I'm feeling a little nauseous, and I'm almost feeling like my stomach is floating upward, which is in direct correlation with what I'm saying. It's funny, my feet were up on the chair, but let me ground them. Let me feel the earth beneath my feet. That was a very odd feeling. And I just wanted to share that out loud to give you an example of how fast this shit can flood your system. So be really diligent about taking care of your physical vessel. Okay. Any messages for masculine spirit? Any messages for masculines? Thank you. We have the crumbling. What are you clinging to? Yeah, masculines, as you step into these, as you honor your truth around what blessings you want to manifest in this life, it's going to reveal what's holding back, right? We're as above, so below. What's in one desire is also in your attachment. So it's going to, as you honor your authentic truth and desires, it's going to reveal to you what's blocking those disasters. Why did I say disasters? Did I just say disasters? That was such a weird Freudian slip, or maybe it was just my brain having a little hiccup. Hold on, what was I saying? As you tell the truth about the blessings you want to bring in, it's going to reveal that which is blocking your blessings and that which you are clinging to. This is a sacred awareness, because once you know what you're clinging to, you can let go or do the very compassionate, graceful process of honoring, sharing gratitude for what this thing was in your life, and then releasing it with love. We also have don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? This actually goes in alignment with the masculine reading I did yesterday around masculines needing to individuate from your family of origin, like letting go of their opinions. How are you dimming your truth in order to appease others, in order to fit in your family, at work, your social circle? Is it worth it? And also, if you are yourself, your full authentic self, and these people don't accept you, they're not your people, masculines. It's time to let these things go. It's time. Listen, bring a lot of empathy and compassion for the parts of yourself that wanted to wear the mask so that you could fit in. This is a really big deal, masculines. That's not a small thing I just said. I'm just letting it breathe for a moment. Yeah, you're being asked to parent the parts of self that went to these things, these people, to get something, to get love, acceptance, community, connection. Let's honor that although it may have served you at a certain place in your journey, it's no longer serving you now. These people, places, and things cannot come with you where you're being called to. You're going to have to release the dead weight of who you wanted to be once upon a time, because who you actually are is working its way into your consciousness. I'm really loving this reading. This is a very clear, succinct reading. I think I need to stand up. Hold on. Okay, for feminine spirit, thank you. Anything else? Anything else for feminines? Anything else for feminines? That's a lot of cards for feminines. Let's just see what they are. This one, definitely we're keeping. It says, Priestess, how are you being called to step up and lead? Beautiful. And do you notice how we're sort of seeing some mirroring going on, but let me just go on. And then we have Council of Light, Divine Orchestration Helpers in the Subtle Realms, honoring that you are never doing this work alone. You always have your spirit guide, the quantum field, to support you. We have the Ever Unfolding Rose, cracked open, it's happening for you, not to you. And the Mintaken, longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. Feminines, let me just honor how hard it is to be a spiritual entity to be a spiritual being in a physical human world, and to have the knowledge of that. Some of you have been holding that wisdom since you incarnated. That's really painful. Again, that's your work. If that's showing up for you, that's exactly what you have to lean into. Let us honor. I fit in this camp very loudly. I knew of my divine origins since I was a little kid, and it was really painful living at that altitude by myself, or what I was perceiving as by myself, right? It's very isolating. You feel weird. You feel like an outcast. You feel unconventional. I felt like I was living in the world, but not of the world. I felt like I was watching the world from a bird's eye view. I felt like I was much older than my physical age, which I was, right? Where our soul is, who knows how old our soul is. So yeah, let us just parent the parts of self that are craving that sort of homecoming. Let's honor that those emotions are legitimate. Let's validate our emotions, and let's take accountability for vibrating them through our body. You could do this in so many ways. This is, you could Google, how to stimulate the vagus nerve. You could tremor your body. You could dance. You can cry. You could do yoga. There's all these different, bilateral stimulation. There's all these different ways to tickle the brain so that we can release, tickle the brain and our bodies, including the fascia, right? Our fascia, our network, our human tensegrity holds muscle memory of our entire biography, of our entire soul's journey. And sometimes it's not from this lifetime. I don't do a lot of past life work. I think there's enough work in this lifetime that we don't have to go digging around. However, I do think it can be really useful if we've hit a dead end and we meet someone credible who can do that work. I've had very few experiences with it, but the experiences that I have gave me such profound clarity of why I felt a certain way that I felt in this lifetime. It didn't really make sense. I couldn't excavate any sort of narrative from this lifetime. So just, be mindful, take it with a grain of salt. Okay, where was I? Knowing you're never alone and honoring that if you're in a hard time right now, remember that this is not happening to you. This is happening for you. If things are in total, utter chaos right now, they are unraveling. They are being dismantled so that you can hold more truth, so that you can hold more love, so that you can hold more God. If your life is crumbling, remember, human chaos is divine order. Human chaos is divine order. So trust in the chaos. Hold your center for love as the chaos swirls around you, taking with it all that no longer serves. It's a good thing, feminines. It's a very powerful thing. Okay, and I just need one card for Union Spirit. Or maybe we're getting 3. Thank you. Okay, we have Warrior Woman. Have you answered your deepest calling? I mean, come on. This is like Twin Flame 101. Yeah. So just reminding us, Twin Flame is not a fairy tale love romantic story. Twin Flame is a path of enlightenment. It's just one of the infinite paths up the mountain of illumination, of awakening, to awaken us both as individuals and as those who are meant to come into union to anchor these, Christ consciousness frequencies on the planet, this God frequency. It says, you're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. I just said this to a friend of mine this morning, that my true north was recalibrated and I feel so solid and I know exactly what my mission statement is. And I know exactly, sorry, I felt like I had bugs crawling on me. I know exactly where I'm headed, that it actually, sorry, I'm getting so distracted right now. Hold on. Let me take a deep breath and ground. When you know your North Star, it makes everything else easier. It makes the circumstances matter less. It's like, once you understand your mission statement and what you're here to do in this life, how you do it or what it looks like matters very little. Like, I'm here, you've heard me say, if you know me and know my channel and know my social media presence, the thing that I lean on the most is that I'm here to shift collective consciousness towards unconditional love, authenticity, and infinite oneness. That's my elevator pitch of my soul, if I had to give one. And so because that is such a zoomed out mission statement, I get to do that in an infinite number of ways. I get to just embody the frequency, and whether I'm, playing with my nieces or nephews or facilitating a big event or hosting a retreat or doing an oracle reading, that is my North Star no matter what. And the frequency comes through me in all different ways. It's like holding up a prism and the light fractals out into those, each rainbow color. It's like, it's almost not up to us how it comes out. It's up to us that we hold the prism up to the light so that we can it's holding our vessel up to the light so that God can shine through it in whatever way God sees fit, right? We're learning to surrender our will to divine will and just show up and hold the frequency, whatever we're doing. Okay, what's our last card? Trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? I'm not going to go into that one. That's self-explanatory, but I am going to end this reading soon. Let's get some Whispering Woods messages. I love this cute little deck. It's just like a little fairy deck without it being an actual fairy deck. Fun fact, I have no connection to fairies. I just have no connection to like fairies or mermaids or dragons or witches really. I mean, witches are cool and I think they're cool, but I just have no personal, it's not how my gifts show up, you know? So I don't really have a hand in the game. Is that what they say? A stake in the game? Whatever. Moving on. We got let go. Enjoy the pulsing light of the firefly, but don't hold on too tight. Because what happens when you hold on too tight? You end up squashing the bug. You kill the bug, and with it, the light goes out of it, right? So we have to take care of our vessel in order to maintain the light that the quantum field is asking us to bring forth in the world. What's in the unconscious? I'm just curious. We have hope. An idea like a single acorn can start a wondrous forest. Because this is in the shadow position, there's some of you that still don't understand how powerful you are. There's some of you that don't think you can affect profound change in the world. But remember the little pebble in the lake and how it ripples out. You are that little pebble. It doesn't matter how small or minute you think a loving action can be, it will affect change. There's also that great, I think, Zen Buddhist quote around, if you think you don't matter, try sleeping in a room with a mosquito or something. It's like if you think you don't matter, it's like even the tiniest little mosquito will affect great change in your life. And I sort of love that. All right, I'm sending you all so much love. This was an awesome, profound reading. And it just shows me that we're all doing it. We're all showing up. We're honoring we're calling our spirit back from places it doesn't belong. And we're taking accountability for what's on our side of the street. Knowing that the greatest change we can affect is within ourselves, right? We embody the change we wish to see in the world. It begins with us. All right, sending you so much love, and I will see you in the next one.